Hello guys, once again it's Matt, and today we have another video. Thank you all the members, all the patrons. Make sure to subscribe and let's get into it, guys. And we are flying out with some aircraft today that really need new fuel tanks. Just a small disclaimer, I'm going to basically name 5 aircraft that I think need external fuel tanks. They just don't have it yet. But some of them are a little bit more, you know, the cool factor than an actual need. To be honest, the 3 first ones are more because it would be cool to have it than anything else, and then the last 2 is more of a need kind of situation, where especially some of the variants of those aircraft. So the first one, because obviously of the cool factor, is the English Electric Lightning, especially the variants that can actually take the external fuel tank above the wing. That would be crazy, but the normal one like the F6, I don't know if the F6 can actually do that, but even the exported model for Saudi Arabia can actually do that, but even the F6 can actually take in the under the wings pylons, it can actually take that. It is an aircraft that would be very cool. Is it needed? Well, kinda, depending on the match, you know. You can, like, because of the size of the match and stuff, you can really save a little bit of fuel and be safe with it. But at the end of the day, external fuel tanks do help a little bit with weight and everything like that, especially in aircraft such as this thing that doesn't really take a lot of fuel together, combined with 2 very thirsty engines, right? So yeah, the English Electric Lightning, although it can be safe without an external fuel tank, it would be very cool, especially the, you know, ones above the wing that I don't think they can actually be dropped, but still. The second one is the Kfir, guys. The Kfir already can have external fuel tanks, as you see on the screen, you know, it already has that, but you cannot take any extra fuel on those external fuel tanks. So yeah, they really need to add that ability on it. It's not an aircraft that has a lot of ammunition in the air-to-air role, so at the end of the day, it's not like, oh my god, it really needs fuel, but it is a thirsty aircraft. It uses the J79, which is a very thirsty engine, together with not having a lot of space for fuel in the aircraft itself, right? And the, you know, cherry on top on that is that, come on, it has the fuel tanks. It is being used as a pylon for bombs, which is crazy to think about that they're actually, you know, thought about adding something like that to the aircraft, but then they didn't properly add the fuel. So something similar to the Mirage 4000 needs to be added to the Kfir. Remember, that aircraft has the external fuel tanks that take missiles onto them, and you can actually take the fuel and consume the fuel, and the pylon will stay there, the external fuel tank will stay there until you actually fire the missiles, and then you can automatically, if you want, drop those fuel tanks. So it's something similar to those that we need, but yeah, it's a big one, I think. The third one is the F104s, yes. Some of them are a bit problematic to have that. It's not like it's a really big need as well. You could use some of these fuel tanks in real life. You can actually take on the wingtips and also on the under the wings, right? So under the wings would be the more conservative kind of option, but it would be cool, especially in the earlier ones, to have in the wingtips, just because of the cool factor as well. The AIM-9Bs are not the greatest missile ever, so it would be alright to see you substituting the AIM-9B for that. And even in the later models, you can substitute the wingtip ones or even the under the wing pylons for those, and still remain with the missiles as well. So it would be very cool. It would help the aircraft a little bit on being more of an interceptor. Does it really need the extra fuel? No, not really, but come on, guys, it's not only needed things that we have to have in the game, right? Even Gaijin says that. So they always add cool stuff anyway, right? So the F104 with the wingtip tanks would be very cool. And then we go for the two primal ones, the two main ones. The first one is, of course, the Draken, guys. This is an aircraft that really needs an extra fuel tank. Uses a similar kind of way as the Su-17s, if you notice that. A pair of, you know, fuel tanks under the fuselage. It would be very, very good. It's, I think, the main aircraft that really needs the fuel. It really, really does. Especially the J variant, or the XS variant, right, that we have in the as a premium. That version has a lot more missiles and a lot more ways of just staying alive for longer with the flares and stuff. So even though it has less of a cannon, it really does have normally more time in battle. So even with that, the D variant should also be getting that, but the XS version will be the main variant that will suffer from that, because normally, even if you know, are careful and save your fuel, eventually you will need to, there will be battles that you will need to just go back to the base to refuel and not even rearm. So when that happens in an aircraft and it does have the options of carrying external fuel tanks, I think it should be a thing. They added for the vegans, now it's time for the Drakens, guys. It really is. So hopefully they add it for it. And the final one that a lot of people have been asking for, the F-14s, guys. The F-14s can take under the fuselage external fuel tanks. It wouldn't like completely change the aircraft, but I think especially for the A variant, the B is a little bit more efficient on its consumption of fuel, and because it has more power, you can save a little bit more fuel taking off the afterburner and stuff. But the A variant really does suffer from time to time from fuel consumption, right? I think it's a very, very thirsty aircraft. It used to be a lot worse back in the day when it was added, but they eventually fixed a little bit of the consumption of the TF-30. But in a general way, guys, it is an aircraft that consumes a lot of fuel. So I really honestly think that it's about time that the F-14 receives that. And yeah, guys, these are the 5 ones. Of course, there are always options. The MiG-21 bis is one that really doesn't need, but it would be cool to see. There's other vehicles that I think can use that thing, MiG-19s and other aircraft like that. But to be honest, the majority of them is more of a cosmetic thing than anything else. But for these 5 ones, I think there is really a reason for them to have the external fuel tanks, just like the other aircraft on counterparts of those aircraft already have it, right? Anyway, I hope you enjoyed. Make sure to subscribe and let me know in the comments if I forgot any aircraft that really needs an external fuel tank. Bye, guys. Subscribe.